On this edition of Business Made in Montana, we follow the waters of the Madison River to a Manhattan couple who aim for perfection.
They're fabulous fishing rods.
A family business in Missoula boasts a worldwide reputation.
We never moved to Kansas City to be in the center of the market. We stayed here, and it's not a problem.
Grandma's international tea recipe spices up a Polson company.
I would certainly ask people to try it.
A Missoula chocolate company creates elegant delectables inspired by the owner's culinary backgrounds.
We are both chefs, so we try to bring that to the chocolates.
And a new savory energy bar that features Montana beef from a family ranch near Ovando helps power endurance athletes.
Sort of finding that piece of Montana that's made in Montana, that's unique to Montana.
We're crossing Big Sky country to tell you the stories of business made in Montana.
This University of Montana School of Journalism student production is made possible with production support from the Greater Montana Foundation. The Greater Montana Foundation benefits the people of Montana by encouraging communications on issues, trends, and values of importance to present and future generations of Montanans. And by the University of Montana.
Hello and welcome to Business Made in Montana. I'm Sam Waldorf. Today we're bringing you the stories of some of the products made right here in Big Sky country. We begin with a trip to Montana's rivers where people from all around the world come in search of that elusive blue ribbon trout. In southwest Montana, Tom Morgan Rodsmiths have tried to help fly fishers by creating quality rods since 1995. Tom and his wife Jerry finally craft top-of-the-line bamboo rods at their shop in their home near Manhattan.
Some fishing rods are fishing poles, and some of them are more like a magic wand. These are just gentle and forgiving, and they lay the fly line down just the way you want it.
They're fabulous fishing rods. And people really make a connection to bamboo that they don't to the other material because it's beautiful, it has a natural warmth to it. I always have loved fly rods. And I bought Winston in 1973 and ran it for 18 years. But my goal was to build a few really perfect rods that were really had great designs, and the fittings and workmanship was absolutely the best. Some of my friends are absolutely amazed that I can come up with the designs when I can't cast.
When I met him in '93, he was still walking, and he could move his hands and eat, but by '95, that was all over.
I'm still have quite a bit of energy. So the MS has affected me, but I never even think about having MS.
Neither Tom nor I see him as handicapped. He gets so much done. He just can't move his hands or his feet. He does all of the computer work. So he does a lot of talking to people. He does all the emails. He does all the book work. So he, taxes, keeps track of everything.
I really think the involvement and interest in Tom Morgan Rodsmiths has really been greatly beneficial for me. Jerry's been extraordinary in that she really sees the quality that I wanted to have, and she's really bought into that and creates rods that are just the very best.
You have to take your time. You just can't rush it. You have to make sure that you're doing what you need to do for that particular thing. Otherwise, it can mess up the entire process afterwards.
There's a ton of detail that goes into this work. I think you're kind of either cut out for it or you're not. To keep up with that kind of detail work, it takes a certain kind of, I guess, craziness, if you will. Bamboo craziness. You know, I get one done and just, I've got to do another one. There's something about it that I feel I can improve. No rod is perfect, but I think it's that pursuit of the illusion of perfection.
It's craftsmanship is what it is. So it's not really art because it's so repetitive, but it's trying to do things at a level that is really, really high, and you do it every day. People will come to our shop and say, "Oh, you're so lucky to get to build fly rods," and and it is. I guess I am lucky in lots of ways. I get to have a beautiful shop, and but it is butt on chair. You know, it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of high-level work, and it's a really fine craft, and but I don't know that I would call it luck. They're looking for handmade, they're looking for custom, they're looking for, they're paying a lot more than they would pay for a rod, but they're looking for our reputation of building. They're never disappointed when they get a rod.
We have a lot of people come out and look at the shop and the products, especially with Tom being here and able to talk to people and make sure they get the right, what they're looking for what kind of waters they fish, I think makes a big difference.
We send rods really all over the world, a lot to Japan, some to Europe, some to Australia, some to New Zealand and Canada, and of course, our biggest clientele is in the States.
I think it's a way for him to be really involved in the world, and he's not in a nursing home, which is a real blessing. So he still has a full life.
Well, you have a choice in life. Everybody does. I choose to be happy. I'm still Tom Morgan with MS. I'm not MS.
To find out more about the rods created by Tom Morgan and his crew, visit their website at troutrods.com. After 27 years, Lifting Technologies in Missoula has grown to be one of the top names in manned basket manufacturing. Owners Roy and Paul Johnson say that no matter how high demand gets, family always comes first.
We've created a reputation over the 27 years of being the leading man basket manufacturer in the United States, right here in Missoula.
My brother and I are the owners. His oldest son runs the powder coat department. My wife's the controller of the company. Everyone else is adopted.
A lot of people have asked me that through the years. They'll ask me about my business and my partner. I said, well, my brother's my partner. And anybody that's been in business and family businesses, a lot of times they'll kind of roll their eyes and say, well, how's that working for you? I said, well, working real good.
We're a very stable company, which is nice for an employee. You aren't having to worry about whether you're going to be laid off the next day. Most of the guys that have been working here have been here 15, 20 years.
Our customers through the years have been, what's been good for us has been big companies, very interested in safety. You're putting people 200 feet in the air, hanging from a single line on a crane. And they want every aspect of the exercise to be safe. And our basket fits that niche.
This is one of our stock models right here. The powder coating process on this is probably 2 days long. They probably can build this 50, 60 hours worth of production, work in the metal fabrication part of it, and another 5, 10 hours in powder coating it. And it's ready to ship out.
we got going in the internet web business whenever, 15 years ago. And that opened up a whole new can of worms in terms of notoriety worldwide. And all that business in the Middle East, you know, a lot of it has to do with American companies going overseas. And they know that if they got to have man baskets, they can rely on getting that and then from us, and they don't have to, they know they're covered.
The quality of the workmanship, the whole package is turnkey. The customer gets the equipment, they're ready to go to work. There's no assembly, there's nothing else required to receive the equipment, put it to work.
It's a great work environment. Everyone's very proud of the work we put out. As you can see, they're a very clean, sharp-looking product. We have a great reputation in the industry.
There's a lot of manufacturers of different tools, and I just like to think we're the top of the line in this one.
Our employees and the work they do, for sure, is what's established us in the market, with the quality of our equipment, the workmanship, the service, everything about what we do is the best thing we have going.
Small business continuity is pretty important, I think. I've got employees been with me for 27 years.
All our employees are most of them Montana natives.
I guess that's what it's a big family. We worry about everybody just like they're our kids.
Quality of life here and all the other things that go with living in Montana, there was never any idea or thought to moving the company.
We never moved to Kansas City to be in the center of the market. We stayed here, and it's not a problem.
In terms of getting up in the morning and having fun, you just can't beat a family business as long as everybody gets along fine and interacts well.
So that's why we're in Missoula. We like it here. We're Grizz fans.
Visit Lifting Technology's website at lifttech.com for more information about the Missoula man basket manufacturers. Up next, we make our way to the Flathead Valley for an international beverage. Tipu's Chai made its way to Montana after stops in India, Africa, and England, and now owner Bipin Patel hopes to spread his grandmother's spiced tea recipe around the country.
Chai tea is a traditional Indian beverage. It's well, what we do is called masala chai, which is masala means spice, so it's like a spicy chai tea. So Tipu's is a more kind of robust, spicy, kind of more authentic Indian beverage. Actually, the recipe is originally my grandmother's. It's travelled from India to East Africa and then on to the US with me. I learned quite a lot of things from her and my mother in terms of Indian cooking, and eventually started a restaurant in Missoula, served the chai, which is the family recipe, and then eventually started the chai business out of that. There's a certain kind of mystique about Montana that people are always taken aback when they hear that we're based here. We moved the business to Polson in part because we had an opportunity to be in partnership with a larger food company, so we're able to share the same facility, warehousing, employees. So it was a move to basically help kind of launch the business properly. Yep. The people who own Country Foods, which is the sort of main company, are investors in Tipu's Chai, and they basically were kind enough to offer us an office space and production room.
Measure it out, then we check it and double check it because it's their system, and then we put it in the tumbler and let it tumble for an hour to 2 hours. After we mix it, then we actually bring it up to the front and then they test it to make sure it tastes good.
if you get a spice that's not quite right, it can ruin the whole batch.
When they give us the go, then we come back here and then fill the order. Then we fill them. Put them in the boxes, put date labels on them, put them in a different box, and then ship them out the door.
We use organic spices in all our products. We use Indian teas, which we import from India. Anytime we order a spice, we always request a sample of it in advance. You know, we smell it, we try it, taste it, and make sure that it's up to the quality that we want. We go to a lot of trade shows, and where we, sample out chai to sometimes hundreds of people in a day.
I would say the first couple of years that we went to those shows, we got very little in terms of return, just because all the buyers are really reluctant to do any business with someone who they don't think, or who they're not convinced is going to be around for a long time. We're kind of over that first hurdle of no one knowing who we are, and when we go to shows, I would say we get a really good return on our investment.
Teepu's chai. How are you? It took a little while for people to warm up to it, I think just because in Bozeman, if you're from Missoula, you grow up knowing what Teepu's is, but it's, not from here. But it's definitely taken off, for sure. It's nice to have a spicy chai versus a super sweet one. Oh, it's healthier, which it is. It is healthier for sure, but it's definitely one of the selling points for Teepu's, I would say, versus, the sweeter ones. I would say it's probably the most popular that we have, which is nice.
What I'd like to see is us be in many more of the independent stores, similar to the Good Food store. There's one in Polson, there's one in Kalispell, and there's hundreds of those all across the country. And I would certainly ask people to try it. It's sometimes quite moving, how much people like the product. I'm sure it would never be as good as grandmother made, but we've come as close as I can to that, yeah.
To see where you can find Teepu's Chai in your area or order online, visit their website at teepuschai.com. From spiced tea to elegant chocolate, this Missoula company celebrates 9 years of making delectable treats for its customers, and they have even bigger plans for the future.
I think the fact that we both have a culinary background, we are both chefs, so we try to bring that to the chocolates. We use a lot of spices, savory flavors, and we also like to use a lot of local products as well. Our lavender, honeycomb, flathead cherry, they're all from around the area, of course. And everything is very artisanal made. I am originally from Brazil. I graduated in business, and I always wanted to do something related to culinary, so I came to America, and I went to the Culinary Institute of America in New York, where I met Jason.
These are a little bit better, and I think it's maybe because they got more airflow, whereas the lower ones are kind of restricted. It's kind of warm down here.
We graduated. I went to work in Spain for a while, and we moved back to Montana, where we were chefs of a high-end resort for about 5 years. Then we moved back to Missoula to open our chocolate shop about 9 years ago. We are in a transitional phase now. Our plan is to grow more nationally. We are, we partner with, we have a new person that is helping us with the wholesale and marketing part. And so that's where we're focused now, is growing Posh brand outside of Missoula and outside of the state of Montana.
We're really focusing more in the Rocky Mountain and northwest region. Due to shipping, it's super expensive. So right now we're sending samples to Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, and some more of the small specialty grocery stores that like that higher end quality product that we provide. I've been one of the big things that I do is after we ship an order out, I always try to contact our customers afterwards just to find out if there's anything we can change or what they liked. And everyone has been saying that, you know, our products have gone off the shelves very quickly, and they love our customer service and they love our product, which, you know, you can have either great customer service or great product, but to have both is key to really getting your brand and your product national. People have this sense where if you're going national, you're going to forget about your roots. And I think that's something that Jason and Anna and myself have really tried to make sure that people understand, that we are very heavily involved in the community, and Posh isn't going anywhere.
Missoula is our home, and it will be, and that's why we want to still stay here, work here, and then, you know, just ship our products wherever they are going.
For a look at Posh Chocolate's complete line of goodies, visit their website at poshchocolate.com. Endurance athletes always look for an edge while competing. And Ovando Company has found an alternative to the sweet energy bar market many of them use. By taking Montana beef, they've created a savory energy boost for athletes.
Well, I've been in and out of Montana pretty much my whole life. And we have a family ranch. And looking for new uses for the beef off the ranch, and wanting to do something here in Montana with something off the ranch. I had a chance to talk with Brent Ruby, who's now my partner, and we sat down for a cup of coffee and started talking about beef jerky, and at the end of an hour we came up with the idea of making a food bar that, instead of using soy or whey, used beef protein, and that was savory.
I got to thinking, you know, I am pretty tired of all these cookie candy, peanut buttery, brownie flavors. Why can't we make a bar that's got that beef, let that be the foundation of foods that taste like they're off your dinner plate?
It's funny, sometimes I'm not too sure who our competition is, because we're so different. It's unique because there's really, truly nothing like it on the marketplace.
Cooper called, and we got to talking, and I thought it sounded like a great opportunity, and a year and a half later, here we are. So far, we're just in the initial stages of really ramping up, so it's been a challenge just to figure out all the processes involved. We're still getting the tweaks worked out and how we evolve everything from start to finish, and we're starting to iron that all out. Seeing those packages come rolling off of that machine, it's quite fascinating to see that finished product being done.
So in a way, it was designed for the Montana lifestyle. Be you a hiker, a hunter, kayaker, be you an ultra endurance runner, whatever it might be, you know, living here in Montana is something that would keep you satisfied and keep you going for long periods of time.
Sure, I've been trail running at a competitive level for about 10 years, mostly with the ultra distance events. Kind of prioritize 100-mile events. Yeah, it's totally different than other products. You bite into an Omnibar and you're like, wow, this is something different. Yeah, I use it because it is real food. That's the most appealing thing to me. It's got 5 or 6 ingredients, and you can pronounce all of them. It acts as a great sort of source of slow burning endurance fuel.
Oh, I think we're in about 26 stores here around Missoula and different places around Montana, and some online places are interested, and some grocery stores, so some grocery chains on the coast. So we're starting to get where we need to go.
I think with the product, I'm constantly thinking of new directions where we can take it. So I'm not completely satisfied with where we are. I want more flavors, I want other products.
We're a small state in terms of population. Our economy is tiny, it's tough. You know, there's very little money around, but at the same time, there's an openness and an access and an interest that you can tap into people. And if you have an honest and interesting and genuine idea or thought or concern, yeah, people will give you the time of day. So it's, in some ways, it's a brutal place to start business. And in other ways, it's a great place to start business. So it's sort of finding that piece of Montana that's made in Montana, that's unique to Montana, and who we are and where we are, that you can offer folks.
Visit their website at omnibars.com to find a complete list of their flavors. We hope you enjoyed meeting these interesting Big Sky businesses that help create our state's diverse and evolving economy. On behalf of the students, faculty, and staff of the University of Montana School of Journalism, I'm Sam Waldorf. Thanks for being with us for Business Made in Montana.
This University of Montana School of Journalism student production is made possible with production support from the Greater Montana Foundation. The Greater Montana Foundation benefits the people of Montana by encouraging communications on issues, trends, and values of importance to present and future generations of Montanans. And by the University of Montana.